ocean's intertidal zone can be a rough place to live. Sea creatures in the shallows will take shelter in rock pools to survive when the tide goes out, which makes these aquatic sanctuaries the perfect place to go hunting for wildlife. My name is Dylan, and today we'll be visiting this isolated Devon cove, so I can introduce you to 5 amazing rock pool animals that you can go out and find for yourself. First up is the limpet, probably the easiest rock pool animal to find. Because they barely move, it's easy to forget that they're a proper animal at all. In fact, they're in the same family as slugs and snails, the gastropods. They come to life underwater, moving around to graze on algae. And when the tide goes out, they return to the same spot that they started in. Over time, they'll wear a perfect limpet-shaped mark into the rock beneath them, known as a home scar. If you spend long enough watching sea snails, you'll start to notice the subtle but exquisite patterns and colours on their shells. This thick top shell is much more understated than its showier relative, the painted top shell. Top shell snails are herbivores, like the limpet. This pair are feeding on seaweed, but they'll also eat algae and pretty much any plant matter that blows into their rock pools. If you're lucky, you might also find empty sea snail shells washed up on the beach. Rockpool fish are a bit harder to spot, but if you do find one, it's probably going to be a blenny. Their teeth are sharp enough to crunch right through barnacle shells, but they're just as happy eating seaweed. Blennies are covered in slime, which allows them to survive outside of water when the tide goes out, as long as their surroundings are damp enough. The small blobs of red and green jelly you'll often see on the rocks lead a secret double life as voracious, venomous underwater predators. Once submerged, they wave their stinging tentacles to catch anything that swims too close. They also have stinging cells tucked away beneath their tentacles, used to fight off rival anemones that get too close for comfort. There are multiple species of anemone found on British shores, and not all of them are as tough as the beadlet, which can survive for a long time out of water by retracting its tentacles. In fact, there's another more fragile anemone right here sharing this rock pool with the beadlets. Can you see it? It is the beautiful snakelocks anemone, which needs to be submerged in water constantly, and will glow fluorescent green under UV light. Since filming this video, I've learned that the oils in our skin can damage anemones when we touch them. I used to harass the poor anemones I found all the time when I was little, and I'm leaving this clip in so you can learn from my mistakes. You can often find really cool rockpool critters by gently lifting up any rocks on the bottom. But make sure you're careful and put anything you move or disturb back exactly how you found it. The same goes for any creatures that you catch too. Most of the time, all you'll see is more rocks and some pebbles, but look closely as many rockpool species are masters of camouflage. Unfortunately, there still wasn't anything under this one. Occasionally, you will kick up a big cloud of silt that makes it impossible to see if there's anything underneath it at all. Of course, I didn't film the one rock I lifted that actually did have something underneath it, but the shore crab is always one of my favourite things to find. Crabs might bubble like this to expel carbon dioxide when they breathe, to protect against dehydration, or in defence against a predator. I'm not sure why this one was bubbling, but I didn't want to stress him out, so I immediately returned him to his home. Shore crabs are highly variable in colour. Most are green, like this one, but they can also be red, orange, and even grey. I hope you enjoyed meeting these amazing rockpool animals. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you managed to find any of them for yourself. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.